Hinge, it has a feature, right, where it gives you the most compatible person to you.
Yo,
Sometimes it
that's
is
mad.
completely off. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Bro,
Hold on.
the first idea that I have in my mind is, are they actually who they are?
Yeah, find ways to find people that complement your life.
One thing I see as a red flag and it straight away is if you're asking for my star sign. Yes, welcome back to the Active Podcast. I'm your host AJ, and today we've got my boy Mabz. What you saying?
Back in the building.
Yeah, he's back by popular demands. But you know what? Today, what we're talking about, and we spoke about this before, didn't we, Mabz? Thought it was quite jokes. Is online dating. So this one's quite interesting. You know what? I feel like we should talk about the different social platforms, whether it's Tinder, Bumble, Hinge.
There's too much now. I mean, you got Minder.
Bro, you got Minder, you got Deal Mill. I've seen some weird ones come up, yeah. And you know what? I think it's good to touch on because I hope it's not just me and you that think these things are like you find some funny things out of it, yeah. But
yeah.
some special people out there, don't you think?
You meet so many different types of people. It's insane. Like it does make me realize now, like you have to find ways to find people that complement your life, complement what you're doing each and every day. If they're gonna add to it or add a value to it, it's the only time it should benefit you, right? And you should benefit them as well. That's something that I've just realized just from using it. So that's something again. I think it's wild. It's wild because again, like I said before, there's 8 billion people in this world, isn't it?
Right.
Now you got outreach.
You know, so many people in this world. He knows this, yeah. And one thing that I know we started to chat about is just traditional dating. Do you know when you go on a date and someone asks how you met someone or if you're getting serious?
That doesn't exist
people
anymore.
kind of feel like initially I feel like people would shy away from saying, oh, we met through Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. But you know what? It is the norm now and I kind of like it.
It has to be the norm now because everything's on our phones. It's all digital now. We live in a world where everything is done through in some form of the internet, basically.
Yeah, for sure.
Meeting people in person, the only way that really ever happens now is work, gym if you go gym, and maybe like another social setting somewhere. But again, those sort of interactions, again, everyone's on their phone. When you look at people, you see them on their phone. People watch a lot. That's the thing. And you can see like how people are engaged in different things.
It's true though, because besides them points I mentioned, as in the gym, work, potential social settings, like I don't know about how everyone else lives, but it's quite difficult to go out and just randomly stumble across someone that you think. So for me, I'm quite for data websites. It's quite interesting. Like you do meet some good characters out there, you know. I feel like you learn quite a lot when you go dating. You know how other people are, kind of make a judgment and make a idea for yourself on what you like. Do you think?
100%, because again, people only show you what they want to show you, and you can only build off what you see. So again, it's definitely like it helps with so many different skills as well. I think all those sort of things will improve as you're developing understanding of that person that you were talking to.
For sure. You know what? I saw a fact earlier. I was looking into it, and they're saying in terms of online dating, it saying over 50% of profiles are not true. What I'm trying to say is people are a bit false online. Yes. I feel like this
you can be wherever you want though.
Bro, it's
mad.
I mean.
Who's regulating this?
That's what I'm saying.
No one's regulating this.
I mean, you can get verified on these things. Obviously, what we'll do, let's start on negatives, and I think it's quite funny as well. Like what we'll chat about is a few dates that we've seen online. We've seen about a few situations that we'll touch on. But first, from experience, don't you think when you're meeting someone new for the first time going on a date, the first idea that I have in my mind is, are they actually who they are?
Yeah, because now that's the real deal. That's the person right in front of you. They can't hide behind the screen. They can't, send texts or whatever it is. It's with their natural voice, with their natural body language. Like you'll be able to see it all in real time, which I think is I think it comes back to that point I was speaking about before. You know, when you see a car advert online, for example, that's just the pictures of it. But when you see it in person, it's different because you're actually seeing it right in front of your eyes physically. So
what we're talking about right now is catfishes.
Yeah.
That's literally what we're chatting about. And don't get me wrong, like obviously go out and look good on these websites, but still, I can't be in situations again where I have to go on a date and there's a catfish. Like I ain't hating on anyone. I'll go on a date just to see how things are, yeah. But I swear to God, like I've been on a date before. I can relate to it where I've got catfished. Met a girl off, I think it was Tinder at the time.
Tinder, yeah.
and I fell into that mistake of, do you know when girls take pictures from the top that show
Okay,
the
yeah,
face?
yeah, yeah. The angles, the
I
angles,
was like, you know what?
the lighting.
Bro.
The pictures aren't real,
I was
man.
like, I'll show you lot the pictures, and I'll show
I
you
think
lot the
so. Yeah,
pictures
yeah,
too
you
back
did.
in the
You did.
day.
This is a while ago. This is a while ago.
Yeah, quite a while back, and I was like, you lot said, yeah, straight, you go for a date as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Went on a date, local, and went to a restaurant. I was like, cool. You know what? I like to kind of set good sort of understanding on, as in like
So
perception.
she met you there at
Yeah,
the spot.
she
You arranged.
met me, so I arranged a
Okay.
date.
Where was she from again?
She was from MK.
Oh, okay. So that's
she's
again
local
local
as
for
well.
her as well. Yeah, yeah.
So obviously, you know what? For me, when I was on dating sites, what I'd do is my main goal. Don't want to know what your favorite color is. I don't want to know what your favorite animal is. So what I want to know is you want to come out on a date so we can have a conversation.
Yeah, yeah. Literally, that's all it is.
Right?
It's the first
Yeah.
meeting.
And
It's
you know what? Sometimes
intro.
people don't even want to get to that stage. They want to know your whole life story.
Yeah.
But unluckily for me, this girl was down for that. Yeah, so I went on the date, and this girl was like, bro, she was like 5 times her size, man. I swear to God.
Whoa.
Like I said, I'm not discriminating, yeah. But if you look like that and see the profile, I wish I could get a profile picture up.
But
It's a sticky one, so that.
it's an insecurity as well that they're probably hiding.
Yeah,
I
but
reckon.
why would you want to hide that if you're going to see someone eventually?
That's what I mean. I don't know what their
Do you get it?
internal dialogue is telling them at that point.
Yeah, like,
You know what I mean?
don't get me wrong. Like, I think people would value you more for who you are. I mean, I don't know actually.
Hmm.
Actually, I'll take that back. I think a lot of physical attraction starts in convos.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I'm
100%.
saying?
Yeah, yeah. It can start through. It can 100% because then you can, if you can relate to something that they're talking about, for example, that already connects with you, or connects with something that you've got in common with.
Yeah, for sure.
And it automatically makes them more engaged. So that's already triggering something there.
Yeah, but like stuff like that, for example, is where I kind of feel like, for fuck's sake, I'm wasting time, I'm wasting money going out on dates. So I was like, I sacked that date off, got starters, and I said, no, that's done.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, man. I learned a valuable lesson there. Never to trust anyone who takes a pictures from the top. Yeah, it needs sort of whole body, whole face, whole everything. If not, then it's a bit of a sticky one. Have you been in these situations where you kind of feel like you've been catfished?
But yeah, I wouldn't say I've been catfished. I would say more. Well, I don't know how much this would relate, but for example, on Hinge, it has a feature, right, where
Yeah.
it gives you the most compatible person to you.
Yo,
Sometimes it
that's
is
mad.
completely off. I'm like, wait, hold on.
Bro.
Hold on. Where are you
I
getting
know
this from?
exactly what you're saying.
Where are you getting this algorithm from?
It's not.
I'm like,
I know
what?
exactly. Sometimes you get gassed. You're like, okay, match, and you get notifications saying,
Yeah.
compatible. I'm like, if this is what I'm compatible with, yeah, fucking hell, man. I used to reevaluate my life.
Exactly. Like, is this what? But and it comes back to the point though as well, where it can only evaluate what it thinks it knows from you. And
I think you're a
that-
dickhead. That's what it thinks.
that's clearly what
Yeah,
it's
man.
saying back to us. And I'm like, nope.
Nah, man. But have there been any good ones like that?
They have, but again, I think it comes back to the point where you're saying a lot of shit online is fake. These could be just fake profiles. It could be
No, man.
bots. It could be campaigns being run by businesses. Who knows? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
To bring attention.
But obviously, until you meet them, you'd always have that sort of
Exactly.
thing in your head where you're like, okay, are you actually real? Are you actually who you say you are? But no, you know what? I feel like there's been loads of situations where people have been catfished and found funny stories. I've kind of seen some online as well. I feel like what we should do, go share a few, see what we think about them. Since we're talking about failed dates and catfishes, yeah, me and Mabz are looking online just for a few situations that people have gone through. It's quite funny, and you know what, we'll chat about them. So look, I found something online that says this girl comes over to my house and we hit it off and get sushi, come back and bang the bejesus out of each other all night. Then she leaves the next day and we never spoke again. It's happened a few times like that, bro. I can't even lie, yeah. Sometimes it's probably best like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't you think?
I mean, it sounds like maybe he expected more.
Nah, fuck that. Yeah, you know what? I think like you have to be on the same vibe.
Yeah,
no matter
yeah,
what you
yeah.
want to do.
Again, it comes back to being able to read the person, read the body language.
If it's a casual one,
yeah,
right?
100%.
If you're both in the same vibe, them sort of ones are quite jokes.
Oh, 100%. Look, honestly, it has to work around you. But at the end of the day, you're both adults. At the end of the day, going on dates and shit. And you still got your own lives to live.
Okay.
If it's working for you, it's working for you.
Yeah. I found this one. Yeah, it says, not only was the guy I met up not the person in his pictures, he told me I looked different than what he's expected, and offered me gas money to leave. Bro, what a gentleman, man. Do you know what I'm
Was
saying?
that the girl that you were seeing?
Yeah, bro. You know what? That might be me typing that in, man.
She's typing that out.
Bro, I might have to be typing in all of these ones,
Fuck's
man.
sake.
But
Mate, she turned up looking like deep pan.
bro, extra deep pants. The other ones with the creamy crust as well, bro.
Stuffed.
Stuffed crust times 5, man.
Oh, for fuck's. What did she say?
You told me that I look different than you expected.
Okay.
You offered the gas money for me to leave. That is a really nice thing to do. I would have just dashed, man. Would you leave straight away if you go on a date with a catfish? Would you still link them just for the date and get to know them?
It depends what I have planned exactly. If it's just, let's just say it's for a coffee, for example.
Yeah.
Great exit.
Now, what about like a proper meal?
I don't think I would do a first date as a meal.
You know what,
I
that's
wouldn't
sick,
do
bro.
that. I think it's too intimate.
So what do you think for a first date is acceptable? I know a few people that would take girls up to Shard for the first date.
No.
The girl would never see them again. And you know what? The girl, fair play. Don't you think?
Well, yeah, the girls are winning at the end of the day.
Bro,
They're winning.
I can't hate
They're
on
winning.
that. You can see a sucker coming from a mile away.
You got nothing to lose. You got nothing to lose.
That's what I'm saying.
Unless they're obviously a killer. You got your life to
You don't
lose.
even know anyone these days. But what's your thoughts on that? Do you know, like, guys splashing on mad
Well,
on dates?
guys can do the most, and I think that's a simp culture, isn't it? I don't know if it's that, but
on the first date,
guys have taken girls out to like Paris on the first date.
Well, you
know
got
what I mean?
boss man's for me. Get 2-piece chicken and chips. That's what you get.
Well, this is what I think. It's like, what is the objective here over dinner? Because it's very hard to actually gauge a person. Well, in my personal opinion, I think it's quite difficult to gauge a person when you're basically eating, because you have to engage yourself in eating as well, right? You're taking that away, that time and attention away. When you're doing something like an activity, or something that's like, just having a drink or whatever it is, you can actually like focus on the person better, and they can focus on you. I just think having the dinner is just it's the wrong sort of approach for me personally. That's why I know
hear that.
it would be very different. For me, like, for example, if it was me in a situation and I booked a dinner, I would stay for the dinner, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna enjoy the food and enjoy that experience. If it didn't go well with you,
he's a better man
it
than
is,
me, man. I was
it
just
is what
like,
it
you
is.
know what, I'm wasting my time. I can't deal with this shit. But that's a good point in terms of, like, to be fair, I do like dinner sometimes. I think it's just the right environment if you get a drink after, or even get to know each other with food. But activities are the one, man. Like,
I think it's the best way to bring someone out of their shell and actually really see who they are, and if
That's
they
so
are who they
true.
say they are, and then you see yourself as well if you like them even more.
yeah, you know what? Because that's the norm day-to-day things. Because you know what? Yeah, what I hate in a relationship is just to go out. And your motive is go get food, go to the cinema. Don't get me wrong, I do like that. But sometimes it's cool to just do something different, do an activity. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%. No, and I think it's needed as well, because again, like you can have a great time as well by doing something that you know that you enjoy, and if they've enjoyed it as well, it's a bonus for you.
Bro,
It's
that's
just
what
a
you're
bonus.
looking for, though, isn't it?
You're not there to try and make them happy by doing this activity with them or whatever, or them having to make you happy just to do this activity. It's first impressions, isn't it? I think when it comes to girls, I think mainly as well, they tend to be a bit more shy. They tend to be a bit more.
Do you think? Because you know what? I've heard stories of guys being proper simps and
Yeah, it can go both
and-
ways. It can go both ways, and that's the thing. There's so many different characters out there. It's hard to sometimes understand people.
Yeah.
So date was ending. Got in my car after saying bye. Looked over and he had his wiener out, and he was stroking it.
Some man don't get the point.
Wow.
Do you know what I'm saying? Do you think certain girls will go for that?
No girls with class.
Yeah, I know, man.
I don't think
That's
so.
Mad. Well, you just whack that out straight away just when he's dropping it off.
Yeah. I think some people probably just move like that. It's
Nah, I think that's a bit mad.
That's
crazy.
crazy.
Like, to be fair, if he does pull, then good on him, man. But that ain't
50-50 chance, isn't it?
That's what I'm saying. What's the worst that can happen? Probably
say no.
Say no, man. But I got a funny little story here. So, it says, my date picked me up and drove us to a restaurant. When you got there, he grabbed his backpack, which I thought was strange. He then specifically requested a table next to an outlet. I soon found out he needed his backpack and outlet purely because he wanted to show me a PowerPoint presentation on a pyramid scheme he wanted to recruit me for.
Oh,
Yo,
one of them
these-
eyes. She was dating an IML, Donny.
Well done, these little trading
No
boys
way.
or whatever they claim to be.
See, okay, that. I think that's a form of catfish.
Yeah, it is. But no, you know what? On his part,
It is part. It was just a business meeting.
That's
It was
so
an intro
bad.
meeting.
he probably come in a tux.
He booked her in, everything. Yeah,
Nah,
that's it.
man,
Yeah,
them man are different.
He had both his mobile phones. He's making $1 million, isn't it?
When I was at uni, I've heard stories of guys like there's one guy when his missus goes out for a night out in uni, he's in his room crying, missing her. Like, no, I'm being dead serious.
Okay,
Oh.
that is like some severe attachment disorder.
That's mad.
or something. It's extreme.
Do you not think, yeah, when you're in a relationship or, like I said, dating,
Mm.
as much as it's good seeing each other, I feel like you got to have a balance, because I think seeing someone for too much all the time, after a while, just gets boring.
Well, it's exactly like when you rinse something out too quickly, too fast.
Yeah,
You've
that
kind of
honeymoon phase.
you've experienced the highs of it so quick that you've come down to the lows or the peaks and troughs of it much quicker than you would if you prolonged it, took
That's
your
what I
time with
mean.
it, slowed it a bit down, you know. And that's what I think, when you're giving up all your time so quickly to somebody, again, they value it less, you know,
Oh
because
yeah,
you got to
that's a
value your
great
own
point.
time.
Yeah,
But if
for
you're giving it
sure.
away for free, you know, that's what it's worth.
Yeah,
To them, that's what it's worth.
I think this is the problem, is you rely too much on the other person, and it affects your daily routine.
You
Do you
become
know what I'm saying?
accustomed to it.
Right?
You make it part of your routine. You make it part of something that your brain now has to think about, even subconsciously.
Yeah. And it's not bad, but like I
Yeah.
said, you just gotta make it part of your routine, not take over. Because
Not to go,
I think that's where people go wrong. Because like you hear psychos and all that. What's that all about? Because you've stopped your whole routine and you've gone out just for this one person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? What do you think?
Exactly. No, and that's it. It boils down to compromise. When you're over compromising for somebody, then you know you are basically changing your life to mold around them, and it shouldn't.
I think that's me personally. I think that's quite toxic. I feel like you got, if you got a lot going on in your life anyways, and they're not bringing you up, and you're not bringing them up. What's the point? Like, if you're being serious.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You both can have your own happiness together, and together you just have happiness combined, right?
Of course.
So as long as you're doing what you enjoy, what you need to do, your goals or whatever it may be, then it should not. You shouldn't put your whole life into some another
compromise on that.
human being. Do you know what I mean? So
100%.
you have to have that balance. Otherwise, you're neglecting yourself.
Do you ever feel like sometimes when you're seeing someone on like a serious, like, you feel like there comes a point where you feel like, okay, should I compromise or should I progress myself? Because I know some of them play into hand in hand, but let's say at work, if you start to do amazing, things start to work, so you have to spend more time working, for example. Would you make that compromise?
To me, it comes down to how much you value, like, as in how much you value doing that action, for example. So if doing whatever it was for your missus, for example, is what you want to do, like, as in that you would generally be happy if you made that decision to do it. I mean, it doesn't matter. Do it or don't. You regret either way. You know what I mean? So
yeah, straight.
If you're gonna do it, just do it.
Not
just be happy with the decision that you made, just knowing that, okay, cool, there would have been an alternative route,
like not one foot in, 1 foot out.
Exactly.
Just
just go in, because you've come to a point in your life where you have to make that split decision. You can't take both routes.
It is, and you're right. It's 50. It can go 50-50, can't it?
They say apparently 90 where you are today was dependent on decisions that you made 90 days ago.
Bro,
I'm not some surprised. Different, anything that it could have been where you had a decision to do something would lead you up to the point you are now 90 days later, and think about that for the next 90 days.
You can apply that to anything in life, but obviously we're talking about dating and relationships. Bro, I don't think there's anything wrong with stopping that, as long as you're not being a dickhead. And I think that's the problem with most people. Don't you think? Like, they're not growing enough to have these conversations where you feel like, okay, maybe I'm not feeling you anymore, but we don't have to be fighting. We don't have to be immature about it.
It's emotional intelligence, isn't it? I think people just don't have that understanding. To look, at the end of the day, if it's not for you, it's not for you. It is. But you know, either way, life still goes on. Time still goes on.
100%.
So you know, you made that decision. You move on.
Everything works out. Do you know what? With time, even though you probably feel like shit sometimes or whatnot, I feel like as long as you got something going on in your life, whether you're a girl, guy, whatever, and you see progression, that's where you should look back and think, actually, I made the right decision. I always should think, even if you don't feel like you made the right decision, be in a mindset where you feel like that, because you can't look back. And I think the worst thing to do is go crying back. There's no time for that.
Yeah, then
because you're a sucker. That's what you are.
You create a toxic cycle.
It's a toxic, you know? Exactly.
It's you going back to your comfort zone. It's you going back to what you're familiar with, and that can happen. And it's again, you have to have that mental capacity to be able to actually be disciplined enough to do it.
Yeah, I don't watch these bullshit TV shows on like
rom-coms and that. Yeah?
Nah, I'm talking about like Love Island. For example.
Them ones. Yeah. I think I've seen like one. Molly May or Millie Molly.
Yeah. It's on the Tommy Fury.
Because it blew up. You just see it everywhere. They somehow tried to drive this information to you and make it popular and trendy and this, that, and the other.
Yeah,
That's the only time I noticed. It's all artificial. It's all forced. It's all scripted.
emotional intelligence. I feel like it's all like that. People feel 1 second they found what they want, just like that. Like I get physical attraction's big, but I feel like if you don't mesh and have the same ideas, same mentality about growth, or let's say go gym, or for example,
you got to pick up the red flags early. And
you got to pick up the red flags early, because do you know what? Luckily, I'm happy to say I haven't been in a situation where people completely switch when they get comfortable.
Oh, see, that's scary. Because it can happen at any point, and you can't. It's hard to gauge that. I feel like there's a 6-month mark,
Right?
typically.
Yeah.
But if you don't catch it within the first 6 months or so, then it's
But
it's difficult.
do you think that happens? I mean, obviously, we could speak from a guy's perspective, and we will be like, let's say if a girl comes out of a show and she's an actual dickhead, like I feel like you could prevent that just from setting ground rules of what the fuck, like. You can't be acting like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you set your own boundaries,
can't be moving.
Yeah, 100%. You got to stick to your boundaries. That's for sure. But at the end of the day, you can't control people. If they're gonna choose to be who they want to be, or if it's not working for you anymore at that point, then it is what it is.
Yeah, then that's how you know it's time to cut.
That's what I'm saying.
That's where you know it's time to cut. Like that's what I find quite interesting. People,
because you would, if you're just being yourself from the get go, from the beginning.
Yeah.
Why should it be a guilty conscience on your shoulders if they're not who they used to be, or who you first saw them?
It's because your mentality, as in the other person's mentality, has changed. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. I feel like nobody should feel like you can take abuse, and I don't think anybody should. Do you know what I'm saying? In any way, like I get it. You can have your odd petty fights here and there, but
I don't know. End up like Greenwood.
Bro, trust me, that's a mad example. Like even
so he's got a kid on the way, isn't it?
He's got a kid on the way with the same goal. That all that bullshit happened with, and yeah, that's a nice little segue, because talking about relationships and dating, yeah, about keeping it private, yeah, things like that, like Mason Greenwood, for example. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, don't condone that. That's bullshit. Like, you heard the audio recording.
Of course.
Did you?
I've heard the clip. I think it's like the short that.
It's crazy
how
people move. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, mate. I mean, what is the thing? Again, you're seeing a snippet of someone's life that you've got no idea how they live or who they are. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure there's far worse people out there.
You know what?
I've
seen this quote was saying where people who don't post on social media are actually happy because they don't have anything to prove to people, whereas people who post each other constantly are doing it because of the social sort of presence. Like the social stigma, for example, just to show people, we're doing amazing together. But I hear that a lot of people that post each other online, I feel like some people just do it just to show the world that, look, we're together. What's your views on that?
It could be down to people looking for some sort of validation. Yeah, I think it is, because again, those types of people, I think, from my understanding anyway, the people that are posting these sort of things, or showing the influential lifestyle.
Yeah.
Again, they're seeing other people that are living the influential lifestyle. So again, it's kind of like a competition. They're in the market together to show that they've got the best life, or whatever it is.
Is that right? Like, I don't agree with that at all, man.
Anything can trend these days. So it's just, maybe it's just a passion for them. It could be a passion for them where, look, they like that, they enjoy that, they like the attention that they receive, they like what people are seeing of their content. It clearly shows interest in a market that they can make money off, and still live the lifestyle that they want. Yeah. So I'd say, okay, hats off to them, but it's not something I would personally do, because I don't like showing a private life as a happy life.
That's the one, isn't it? I feel like just constantly posting each other is one of the things, unless you're monetizing. Have you seen that podcast, the No Jumper podcast?
Which one?
It's that one where that he's letting his missus bang other guys.
Adam 22, innit?
Adam 22, yeah.
Adam 22.
Bro, what do you think of that?
I think it's just all messed up. I mean, again, it's an alternative lifestyle that they're living. So
you know what? I heard that he's racking like $1 million a month.
He's in the industry, isn't he? So he's one of the biggest, apparently. So I don't know. So
yeah, I mean, we know them stories. Like, how the hell would we know that unless? You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have known of this guy unless it was that story of his missus banging guys all the time.
His life was never relevant to me whatsoever. It comes
it's
up
mad that it is now, though,
purely because of some fuckery that he's done.
Yeah,
and now people can just see anything controversial. It sticks. Apparently,
Controversy sells, man. It always does. Like things like that, I'd rate them if they're doing it for like social clout so that they can make peas, which he clearly is.
there's probably a
You
marketing
know what? I
strategy
can't even
behind
lie.
it.
Yeah,
Do
a
you know
lot
what
of
I
the
mean?
things that he
Everything's a
posts,
business.
I think someone can't even notice. I think he's just triggering people for like bands.
Because
Just
what's happening is clearly working. I never knew anything about the guy. I would see random clips of him on
yeah,
reels
yeah,
and
the
shit.
reels, yeah.
So you know that he's a popular figure in that industry because I see his face, so I recognize him. Didn't know that that's the shit he's doing behind
Bro,
it.
he's. I think they got a child together as well, yeah. And he's letting his
Yeah.
missus
Yeah.
tap other guys. Like that's mad. I
It
can't
was-
ever do that. Are you mad? Imagine being married and your
They
missus
just
asks
got they
you-
just got married as well. They had a kid. The kid's like 1 year old or some shit. Yeah, they do have a kid. They had a kid before. Then they got married. After they came back from honeymoon, she shot her first male scene
Yeah.
without him.
Yeah, I saw that guy. I ain't seen the video, but to be fair, the way that they're rinsing that, yeah, I feel like I don't know if it's true. You know, I'm thinking, is it actually happening or
We
have
never
they?
know that. I don't think anything. Again, anything can happen on the internet. Anything can happen behind the camera. Only when you're there in
Yeah.
person is when you can see. what
If
your
you're
own
getting
eyes.
$1 million a month,
Oh my god.
right? You know,
So then money isn't really a thing anymore. It's just
they make money off nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? But like, obviously, I know we're going off on a tangent here.
you can make $1 million, isn't it? Honestly, I think it is a completely different world. Because then I think as well, what about for the future generations, right? When all they pretty much will have is to meet people online. I think because eventually, I reckon education will be all online. You won't need schools anymore because you can learn like everything on like a computer. They can just have the classroom on Teams, put the presentation up wherever it is. Everyone works from home, done. You know what I mean? So even school life will change. The dating scene is gonna mold into that.
I think it's kind of currently like that, anyways. Like the dating scene's a bit
Yeah,
mad.
it's evolved, isn't it?
Do you know what it is? I feel like on the positive dating online dating is you'll meet people that you never would have met just in your own social circle or anywhere around that.
Just the UK or in the vicinity of your choosing, obviously.
Mabz, he does it worldwide. Once the Brazilian
international things, mate.
Got the Brazilian things.
East Coast, West Coast.
But yeah, nah, that's crazy. I just thought of something, jokes, yeah. So I know we can touch on this. So I was looking on dating websites. I was just downloading random ones, and I see this Asian one come up. Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
called
yeah.
Deal Mill.
Deal
bro.
Mill, you know.
I was on this for like a day, and I swear to God, it made me question whether I want to date an Asian or what.
Oh really?
Bro,
was
yeah.
it that bad?
Nah, do you know what it is? I feel like some of these people on these apps like Deal Mill, yeah, bro. There's one guy I remember. There's always one guy I was chatting to, and I was making a little joke or what.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Yo, listen, I'm just looking to get married."
Whoa.
Like, generally, like straight up to that. It's
Straight
just,
off the bat.
bro. After that, I was like, "Fuck this, man."
Damn. What and was that like really early on in your experience of just using those apps? Like, did it happen pretty quick? Was that like one of the
Nah,
first?
bro. That was the only app. Like that was the only app I go on, and I'm just like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Maybe that one is more marketed to people that are just looking for marriage.
But that's
example.
mad. What's your view on that? Like, obviously, I hear like arranged marriage and all these things, yeah. But for me, like this day and age, and especially if in the UK, yeah, like RNs, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're looking for an arranged marriage, my mind says you got no game, you got no chance elsewhere. You can't go out chat to no one. What you want, a girl that makes chapatis roti and that's all you want. But like, it's crazy, don't you think?
I think what it does is if the person is able to have conversations with people on the spot, on them being comfortable. Again, it's sort of like an intro meeting, isn't it? With someone that's been completely set up for you. So again, I guess for some people, they're able to then just tick off boxes for themselves.
Do you reckon, bro?
I think that's what it's like an interview. It's like an
but
interview.
that's mad though. Like, I would like to say I get it, but I really don't. I get it for like older generations. You know, people and stuff back at home, and that's a different world. But this day and age,
I think one thing is, in school, they don't really exactly teach you how to handle a relationship, how to handle emotional intelligence or anything like that. So it's like, maybe some people just don't develop those abilities to be able to talk to people, to be able to have a game or have riz. You know what I mean?
trust there's zero riz in that game. I'm
like,
telling you.
These are things that you aren't taught these things. You have to learn along the way.
Yeah, but you ain't gonna go on a convo saying, "No, I want to get married from day dot, man." That's a bit mad. And this is serious because I can't lie to you. This is a very, you know what? I think a lot of guys do this. And I'd kind of put my hands up and say I've done this as well. Do you know, like all these apps, yeah? You know, when you swipe through these things, I just swipe right on everyone.
Okay, yeah. Deal with it later, yeah? Cross that bridge
I
when you get
can't
there.
lie. It's just, don't get me wrong. People might look at that wrong, but I'm saving bare time.
I think this is why I think it is difficult for girls, because I think they just get, apparently they get, hundreds and
I'm
hundreds
sure
compared
they
to
do,
what we
yeah.
get as guys. They get 10x more. So it's like, again, for them to even be able to then engage with somebody out of hundreds and hundreds of messages, to be able to then find someone that they can take the initiative, or the other person can take the initiative to actually ask them out.
Yeah.
The chances are very slim. So I feel no envy for the girls that actually use these apps.
I feel like if you're dating, you can do whatever you want. Like, just don't be a dickhead. You know what I'm
Just
saying?
just be yourself.
Yeah.
That's all you can
What
really
other
do.
what other dating websites have you been on?
I think it's only been those three that I know of. What is it? Bumble. Bumble is
Yeah.
apparently a
What are you
good
saying
one.
about Bumble?
I haven't used it much.
Nah.
Again, I think I feel that again. It's like a job application. You fill out so
That's
many
girls
different
risen
things.
you, man.
So I'm just like,
It's just girly risen you. That's mad. I
is
like
it?
that concept. It's just
I
'cause
think it's a great concept because it tells them. I think they've got
I'm sure it
2
is.
days to reply or something.
Yeah.
So again,
shit,
it kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
again, it's trying to stimulate that conversation between you two, so
Yeah.
you can actually suss them out essentially.
But
innit?
regardless, yeah, on all these dating apps, one thing I see is a red flag, and it straight away is if you're asking for my star sign.
I don't think I've ever had that.
Have you not?
No one's ever asked me that.
Right,
I don't
that
even know
stuff's
myself.
weird, man. If you're into that weird shit, nah, man, I can't be dealing with that. People have that on their profiles all the time.
Yeah,
I don't even know what they are. Like, people ask me sometimes what I'm at. I don't even know what I'm at.
It's to do with the stars, and then apparently when when you were
man.
born, and that somehow aligns to how your behaviors are. As an
Oh,
individual. And they're like, yeah,
fine, I know
you're
that.
definitely a Capricorn. The dynamics between people and the choices you have to make in relationships when it's serious.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, it comes down. It boils down to one, compromise, and two, if you really want to do it, just do it. At the end of the day, it's a choice you have to make at that point, isn't it? You're just given the card. You choose what you want to play.
How do you feel about like high maintenance girls?
Yeah, I think at a certain point, it can be fun to experience, but I
Do you
think
reckon?
at a certain point, well, it's a different version of life. For a relationship point of view, as in it's a different style of relationship.
Which it what? No, once a high maintenance, I feel like girls that need to be treated all the time. That's what I mean by high maintenance. Is that do you like that stuff?
Well, no, listen, I wouldn't say I like it.
I was gonna say,
For
man,
me personally, I think I'm way more laid back, and I think
100%.
because of the way I am, I think it's too much energy and effort for me personally.
Nah,
be able
but
to
some
keep up
people
with.
do that, you know. And you know what?
Yeah.
I feel more in your sort of ends as in just be more laid back. Don't get me wrong. It's always nice going out places like fancy places.
Yeah.
But I like the simpler things, and if you can't do the simpler things in life, like just go chill or
You-
just go for a walk or.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. If a girl purely just wants to do those sort of things, I think again, it's more. You're not going to be able to really be. I feel like you wouldn't be able to be close enough with that person or know them more as an individual if you're only just.
Do you
going out
think
for different
guys
things.
would give into that because of their insecurities of leaving, like the girl leaving?
Yeah.
More hard. That's what I'm
Because
saying.
again, some guys might feel that the girl is too good for them, and they might feel that they can never find someone like that ever again. So it's more.
Okay, that's an
If they fall
interesting
into
topic.
that sort of ideology,
Yeah.
which I've seen happen, it can lead to those things because it boils down to the insecurity where they just feel they won't find anyone else like this. It's very toxic. It's very narcissistic.
Do you think? I think that's the main thing where people like struggle to break up relationships because they feel like
Yeah.
I probably can't find someone better. Do you not think?
100%. Because it boils down to comfort. Your comfort zone.
Yes, it does.
A lot of people do not like being out of the comfort zone, and that goes for nearly every aspect of life. Like if you don't come out of your comfort zone, if you don't take the leap to do something else,
You're gonna be stuck in that same rock circle again and again.
It does, yeah. What goes around comes around, doesn't it? So
Straight.
that's just how I've always seen it. But each to their own. Again, people make
to
their
their own.
decisions, right? You can't force anyone to do anything. You can just tell them or ask them.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's lots that go on behind the scenes of relationships sometimes
Yeah.
where it's not what the eye sees. What we see is probably not the same. Like I said, it goes back to that show, as in the persona of everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe behind the scenes it could be a bit toxic. But I don't know. I feel like relationships, dating, not even just anything in life, as long as you can communicate correctly,
That's the big.
And-
I think that is the biggest thing.
that's the biggest
Yeah.
thing. Because you are gonna hurt people's feelings regardless, especially if you're dating them. But as long as you do it the right way, do you know what I mean? Instead of being a dickhead,
Yeah, exactly.
insecure, your
Instead
butters anyway.
If you, exactly. If you're hiding it, if you're not being honest, if you're not being honest with them, you're not being honest with yourself.
yeah,
So you know, it's only going to lead down a route that can be prevented much sooner if you can just
Emotional intelligence comes
exactly
back down to that, doesn't it?
exactly.
But no, I know we've gone on a mad little topic. You know,
I
we've
know.
gone all the way around. You know what? I feel like there's a lot of relatable things here that people probably won't talk about, but we're happy to just get stuff. We'll be a little scapegoat if anything goes wrong. Well, I'll just blame it all on Mabz actually. But nah, Mabz, appreciate you coming on today. You know, we've done quite a bit, but I'm looking forward to this one coming out. Guys, I know it's been a while since we uploaded our last episode, but we want to be more consistent with it. So we'll be getting a few more in. So keep an eye out and safe for coming on. Safe, man.